Good afternoon, distinguished dignitaries, respected academicians, industry leader, researchers, scholars, our sponsors, our academic partner, title partner, and knowledge partner, and members from the media. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the inaugural session of the Global Business Research Conference 2026, hosted by the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. This year's conference revolves around the timely and significant theme, Managing Business Amidst Worldwide Turbulence, bringing together distinguished academicians, researchers, policymakers, and industry leaders from across India and the world. Over the next 2 days, this platform will witness exchange of ideas, research findings, and perspectives that will likely shape the future of global business and management education. We are highly privileged and honored to have with us today our chief guest, Honorable Shri Jitin Prasada, Minister of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, to formally inaugurate this conference. We extend our heartfelt welcome to you, sir, and he will be joined on the dais by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, and the chair of the conference, Professor Pooja Lakhanpal. We shall now begin our inaugural proceedings with the Rashtragan Vande Mataram. Request everyone to take their seats. It is our tradition to start any auspicious event with the lighting of the lamp. In our culture, the lamp is not merely a source of light, it is a symbol of knowledge that dispels ignorance, of wisdom that illuminates the path forward, and of enlightenment that inspires collective progress. We now request our dignitaries to kindly come forward for the lighting of the lamp. Our PhD scholars will be singing Saraswati Bandana meanwhile.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषार हार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावर दण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यापः.
With the lamp being lit, may we seek inspiration for meaningful dialogue, innovative thinking, and collaborative action. We now formally invoke the spirit of learning, inquiry, and excellence that will define the next 2 days of GBRC 2026. We next proceed to the felicitation of our chief guest. May I request our Vice Chancellor, Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, to please present him or welcome him with a shawl and a planter. We are truly grateful to you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Your presence today lends immense prestige and meaning to this occasion. We now move to the welcome address. We are honored to now invite Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, Vice Chancellor, IIFT, an accomplished academician, researcher, author, and institution builder, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, may I request you to kindly take the podium.
Honorable Shri Jitin Prasada ji, Minister for State of Commerce Industries, Government of India, distinguished delegates of this Global Business Research Conference 2026, distinguished Vice Chancellors, Directors, academic leaders, eminent researchers, media person, scholars, and most importantly, our students. So I welcome Honorable Minister and each one of you at this momentous conference. And the topic of the conference we have chosen is Managing Businesses Amid Worldwide Turbulence. And something, if you know about today, is the turbulence. Unprecedented in the economic history, for the last decades. And you have seen that, we have done many conferences on, VUCA, volatility, unpredictability, complexity, ambiguity. But those words have shrunken into only 2 words now. And that is Donald Trump. Everything that is going to be stable in time to come is instability. And something that you are going to certain is uncertainty. And Donald Trump is very predictable in his unpredictability. So the theories which were true yesterday, because I think the whole world in the B schools taught about hyperglobalization. We said that integrity of various economies, if economies are not integrated, then you cannot progress. Integration of the supply chains. And as the COVID-19 came, those supply chains got, absolutely got disrupted. And then the concept came that China plus one. And then, we wanted to position India for that. Now, only thing is that businesses today and management tactics today have to cope up with these uncertainties. If you don't cope up, we'll fail. We discussed about globalization. People in my generation with the kind of the gray hairs, we always thought that, integration of the economies are good for the world. But I think the last election, liberalization. You talked about India's liberalization means no tariff, reduce the tariff and taxes, it gets liberated. Now, liberalization day on April 2nd, 2025 in America means improve the tariff. So what you have learned in the traditional theories of the free trade, you need to reorient your mind. So put a control, alt and delete, because that does not, will stand true for time to come. So what is true? What you do today is not true tomorrow. And the businesses need to have their strategies in a dynamic manner. Even governments have to. I am sure many of you have done a lot of research using very complex econometric model as to, if the tariff goes to 25%, what will happen, 50%, what will happen, nothing work. And therefore, I am sure, I am so happy that Government of India is very proactive. They have, had a lot of strategy and dynamics in the strategy. And multilateralism probably does not work. Globalization is the crossroad, or I think reverse. Because I think India is not only we talk of Atmanirbhar, whole world talks of self-reliance, because you do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. Over-reliance, there is a Shakespearean saying, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Why we are in trouble? Because 22% of our export is America. Why we are in trouble? Because that, one narrow strait of Hormuz that is blocked. 50% our oil exports come from them. So the strategy is diversification. And India has done such well that we have, signed multiple trade agreements. UK, EFTA, Australia, New Zealand, UAE. And now I think the last one is Oman. Oman is situated at the neck of the Strait of the Hormuz. So it bypasses the troubles that we are. But don't think that this trouble is final. We do not know what trouble is going to be tomorrow. AI, another disruption. Professor like me, who thought that, I write very well. I speak very well. I was proud of it. All gone. Because AI writes now anything. So what to do? So we need to learn to operate in this, and we need to teach our students to operate in this. And therefore, sir, we have had this conference, not only with the researchers, we have got over 100 research, 113 and something like research papers, which I think being evaluated, the researchers are, across the country from various institutes, they are, presenting their papers. But we also wanted to, have them with the reality. Research should be embedded in reality. Research and teaching should add to the industry. Research and teaching should add to the government. And therefore, sir, yesterday we had a whole day workshops with the top researchers as to how to analyze the data, how to write the research papers. Today, we are having, the directors conclave in which the top directors of the top institutes and, several universities, vice chancellors are also there. So we are going to discuss, how the present day environmental changes can be integrated into the research. So research is not a standalone. It helps to the society, it helps to the industry, it helps to the government. We are having, sir, the first session we already had today in the morning was internationalization strategies of B school. In the NEP, as you are aware, 2020, we have allowed foreign institutes to open up. And in the morning, we had the CEO of that Southampton University who was there. We had, accreditation agencies, they are still sitting, EFMD and all that. So, we wanted to, adapt that into our teaching pedagogy and research as well. Second session, sir, soon after this, we are going to have it on leveraging artificial intelligence in the management education. AI is a big disruptor and we have got experts, not only the experts and researchers, but we have got the academic leaders like ISB, Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, senior professors and the academic leaders, how to implement it across other B schools. We are also having, lastly, that, how to keep our pedagogy relevant amid the geopolitical turbulence, another director's panel. We have got last panel on innovation and the entrepreneurship, which is, and the skill development. Schools teach, B schools teach, but how many people are employable? And sir, you will know that we have got, people from across. We have got directors from IIM. We had from, Tiruchirappalli. We had from Ranchi. We have got vice chancellors of top central universities. We have got, top institutes like MDI also. Indian Institute of Mass Communication, we had the Vice Chancellors and the Director General. We are from IIT. We are Vice Chancellor of Shiv Nadar is also with us. We have Director of Great Lakes. Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, we are having the Vice Chancellor from there. Dean from Global Jitin School, Directors from 𝐈𝐈𝐅𝐓. So I think it's a mix of who's who. And I think to the researchers also, it's a rare opportunity for all of you to interact with the people, how they think about the education and integrate in their research and pedagogy. Sir, after this, then we are also having a doctoral colloquium where the students will, share their doctoral research. And tomorrow we are also going to have, panel discussion on BRICS amidst geopolitical turbulence in a multipolar world, where we are having several, senior government officials, senior diplomats who will discuss on this. And at the same time, we are having teaching session, technical sessions on the research paper presentation, on general management, strategy, marketing, global trade, finance, operations, supply chain, public policy, and all such. And with this, sir, it also complements. In the March, we also had a Vice Chancellor's conclave in Bharat Mandapam, wherein 72 academic leaders, including several Vice Chancellors and top academic leaders were there. Therein, we deliberated upon internationalization of B schools. But now, world is going on deglobalization. You are saying globalization on the reverse gear. India was always globalized. Our thought was clear. Because, I am nijah paroveti ganana laghu chetasam udar charita nam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Now, this was our G20 logo as well. This is mine, that is yours. Only the people with a constricted heart think of so. I am not telling about the most powerful men on the earth. But restricting trade implies to that. So with that, so now I think we need to change. So, the strategy has to be learning, unlearning and relearning, mass supply chain disruptions, we need to work on that, physical and operational bottlenecks that you are seeing across the world, when a cargo is not passing through the Strait of Hormuz, we need to have a very big roundabout which takes 15 to 20 extra days, adds to 25 to 30% of the cost. India, in 85% our dependent on the imported petroleum was only 35%. I think over a time, because our economic activities are grown up and petroleum we could not get, so it has gone to 89-90%. We are very dependent. We spend, probably the most, almost 3.2% of our GDP on import of the petroleum. It's very important to us, and how to, take into account in the research and pedagogy. I think we are working on that, and very importantly is that, with that, we also work into the I think I wrote that, myth of the free trade theories, that they does not work, so we need to have evolved into the new theories. And lastly, some of the IIM directors are sitting, एक साहब बैठे हुए हैं, वो IIM के बड़े डायरेक्टर रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने उपनिषद पे किताब लिखी, वेदों का उन्होंने सार निकाला, तो उन्होंने मुझे बुलाया बुक रिलीज में। तो आप इन वेदों को ऐसे मत देखिए कि ये कोई भगवान का ज्ञान नहीं है। पूर्णम अधः पूर्णम इदम पूर्णात् पूर्णम उदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेव अशिष्यति। इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, इसका एक ही मतलब है, इन्फिनिटी प्लस इन्फिनिटी इज इक्वल टू इन्फिनिटी, इन्फिनिटी माइनस इन्फिनिटी इज इक्वल टू इन्फिनिटी, और कोई इसका मतलब। अभी बैठे हुए आप इनसे पूछ लेना बाद में। सो आई एम टेलिंग यू कि हमारे पास जो मैथमेटिकल नॉलेज है उसको भी हम एक्सप्लोर करें, एंड वी आर इंटीग्रेटिंग दैट इनटू दिस। एंड इसके अंदर अब हम देख रहे हैं कि फॉरेन हम कोलैबोरेशन करते हैं, विदेशी इंस्टीट्यूट लाते हैं, हमको लगता है क्वालिटी हमारी बढ़ जाएगी, जरूर बढ़ जाएगी, लेकिन हमारी क्वालिटी बढ़ाना हमारे अपने हाथ में। अगेन टू कोट फॉर माई फेवरेट भगवद गीता इज उद्धरेद आत्मनात्मानम नात्मानम अवसादयेत आत्मैवात्मनौ बंधु आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः। वी शुड अपलिफ्ट आवर सेल्फ विद आवर ओन सेल्फ। यू शुड नेवर डिग्रेड योर सेल्फ बाय योर ओन सेल्फ, बिकॉज you yourself is your own friend and you yourself is your worst enemy. Together, working together, we should not work in silos, we should work together. Problem is that India has got a lot of capability, बहुत सारी मंत्रालय हैं, डिपार्टमेंट हैं, है ना, विश्वविद्यालय हैं, बड़े बड़े प्रोफेसर हैं, सब अच्छा काम करते हैं, बट प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि वो सब मिलके काम नहीं करते हैं। तो हमको क्या एक मिलके काम करना है। अगेन टू टेक फ्रॉम वेदास, संगच्छत्वम संवदच्छम सम्य मनसी जानता। Some means together. We should gach together, we should go together, we should think, we should speak together, and we should think together for the benefit of the organization, for the benefit of the institute, and for the benefit of the country, and that will take India ahead. Thank you so much. Namaskar, namaskara, namaskaram.
Thank you so much, sir, for those inspiring words of welcome. Your words make it clear that the spirit with which this conference has been conceived and organized is as remarkable as the ideas it seeks to nurture. Dear participants, we now arrive at the most distinguished moment of this inaugural session. India's journey to become a global economic force is being written at this very moment in its trade corridors, its boardrooms, in classrooms, and in events such as this. And it is only fitting that the person who formally inaugurates this conference is someone who has been at the forefront of shaping India's commercial and trade policy. Our chief guest today needs no elaborate introduction, yet it is our privilege and honor to present him to this distinguished gathering. Honorable Shri Jitin Prasada is the Ministry of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry and Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. An MBA by training and prominent leader with deep experience in governance and public service, he has been a steadfast voice for India's economic development and international trade interests. Since assuming charge as a Minister of State for Commerce and Industry and Electronics and IT in 2024, Shri Prasada has been a driving force behind India's most consequential trade and industry reforms. He has promoted a technology-first approach to trade governance, overseeing the rollout of various platforms, thereby transforming how Indian exporters access global markets. He has also overseen the establishment of 65 export facilitation centers across the country to provide mentoring and hand-holding support to exporters, especially MSMEs. Shri Prasada has championed India's landmark free trade agreement drive, one of most ambitious in India's history. In a career spanning over 2 decades of national governance, he has held some of the most consequential ministerial profiles in the Government of India, including the Minister of State for Steel, Petroleum and Natural Gas, Road Transport and Highways, and Human Resource Development. His presence today is a reflection of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry's commitment to fostering research, knowledge, and academic excellence in the domain of global business. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the deepest respect and warmest welcome that we request Honorable Shri Jitin Prasada to kindly deliver the inaugural address and to formally declare the Global Business Research Conference 2026 open. Sir, may we request you to kindly take the podium.
Thank you, and a very good afternoon to all here. I'm very glad that I have got this opportunity to inaugurate this Global Business Research Conference at IIFT, and with me on the dais, whose words and pearls of wisdom we just heard Professor Rakesh Mohan Joshi, the Vice Chancellor, and also Professor Pooja Lakhanpal, the Head Research at IIFT, and also here in this hall, all the academicians, top experts from various institutes, some friends from the media, there are some researchers, some students, and all people who are here. Firstly, I'm very thankful for that long citation that was read out, and it said that, I've done my business management. So I've done my business management from next door at IMI. Who you have not invited, you've invited the whole world. But your neighbors of IMI and For School, which is also supposed to be next door. I was seeing from Ranchi to, Gurgaon to, I'm glad that so many people have come from all the way across the country to give their views on this conference, and it's rightly titled "The Managing Business Amidst Worldwide Turbulence." So I can tell you, as you are very aware now, this apart from the aircraft turbulence, this is the new catchword these days, the economic turbulence that we are going through. And I can say that, in spite of the uncertainties, the geopolitical, conditions across the world, India is pretty much better placed than other countries, given the size and scale of its own market and the policies and the programs of the government. But I'm glad that the deliberation will happen today at length and breadth with leading experts. And given that I'm responsible for 2 ministries as Minister of State, Prime Minister Modi ji has given me. One is, of course, as Professor Rakesh ji has said, of Minister of State for Commerce, Trade, Industry Promotion, Investment Promotion, and the other is IT and Electronics. And these are the 2, the tech and trade, twin engines that are, pioneering the growth story of India. In both fields, we are seeing great strides and achievements taking place, and that inherent strength which India has is showcasing itself today in these turbulent times where we are facing so much uncertainty. We have a great talent pool as far as technology is concerned. We are doing pretty well as far as AI and the semiconductor production is concerned. And why I bring up semiconductors is because we talk about Atmanirbhar Bharat and self-reliance. And that is one thing that we missed out on at some point in time. And the consequences are being faced now with, it's not only about the turbulence that you are facing, economic turbulence now. It's been on for the past decade since COVID came in. And that's when people realized that you have to diversify. As Professor Joshi has said, you can't put all eggs in one basket. And that's where the thinking changed to charter new territories, to get greater market access, to rework the export promotion mission, which the Commerce Ministry is at the moment in the process of, to ensure that the way we used to look at things has to change. We have to prepare ourselves for the worst and hope for the best. And in that process, a lot of decisions have been taken. But, our researchers who've done research, they should know why we are going ahead with this new export promotion mission with the Commerce Ministry. Because, we've seen there's so much increase in compliances, certification, market access, visibility, logistical disadvantages, trade finance problems. So all those things have, come about over these last 5-10 years. And that's where we have to gear up and see and showcase to the world that what we talk about a resilient India, it all stems from the people. And then comes the government. And government channelizes the strength of our people. And we are very lucky in these times that we have a strong leadership under Prime Minister Modi and clear vision where we are headed and what we want to do. And also, when we talk about uncertainties and instability, various countries, governments are changing, a lot of things are happening across the world. But India is stable with 3 back-to-back victories of the same government, which has given us a big leverage in these times to take bold decisions, to think out of the box, to ensure that ease of doing business, to reduce compliances with bills like the Jan Vishwas bill, where over 1,000 criminal offences which are outdated, colonial era times are still in process today. They've been done away with. We don't want people and our exporters and our investors to running pillar to post, trying to get NOCs from one department to the other. And so, things are being streamlined. Technology is being used. And that's where IIFT would play a big role. Because I always remember, like I said, while I was in the neighborhood doing my business studies, this was one institute which was, top of the line, best in the world, great placements, very difficult to get in, and no sifarish for admissions. So, that's what this IIFT was all about and is about. And it still is one of the leading institutions. But with times, everything changes. And so it has to evolve accordingly to the evolving situation, the markets, the business processes. And so, apart from the theory that goes on here and the basics that are taught, which are going to be changing very rapidly, as again I repeat, Professor Joshi has spoken about AI, which would make a lot of things redundant. So we have to be ahead of the curve to ensure that what would become redundant, students are not bogged down by learning and waste. There's a 2-year span for an MBA and maybe a 1-year course. And if you miss the bus at that point of time and you do your course with that degree, it become useless because you'll be not at that cutting edge of technology or the situation as for demands with business and trade changing, with these free trade agreements that the government has undertaken, which are very historic. From the developed world, we have market access today over 65% of the developed world as far as free trade agreements go, and they're spread out across from Europe to the Middle East to Australia to New Zealand, and the one with the United States is being worked out and worked upon. So this has given us a a great opportunity for our businesses. Not the big ones, not the ones that you know. They already get their market access because of their leverage of their financial power. But this is about MSMEs, actually small and micro players. They have now got the opportunity to showcase their products worldwide. And export opportunities are limitless. The boundaries have been broken. And governments can only form policies, programs, and sign free trade agreements. But ultimately, it's the industry and everybody here who have to, the academicians, the researchers, the innovators, the PhD holders, our exporters, all have to get together and access this what the government has done. These free trade agreements with Europe and other developed countries have been under discussion for over 17 years. But now they've come about, which shows the way the world is viewing India, which shows what a big market India has become, which shows how the policies of the government have helped define and showcase and evolve India as a new brand India, where there is a rule of law, there is transparency, there's a level playing field, and there's great opportunity. So, through this forum, I want to tell everybody, at least all our investors who want to do business in India, is that make sure, the India has great scale and big market, but don't treat it only as a market. Partner with our players, with our exporters, with our business, shoulder to shoulder, so that they grow with that compatibility, with that partnership, and India guarantees that trusted partnership. So we can showcase to the world that our policies are stable, our government is stable, the people's mandate is with the government, and the government is working forward-looking. It's not looking at, short-term policies only. With this kind of a mandate, 15 years, the government, the people have given us, and India, it's not easy, given the size and scale and the diversity. And that gives us stability of policies, of programs, and the initiatives of the government are long-term. And they are for our future generations. And they are for those young people, 15, 20 years down the line, who will be at the forefront. It is for them the bedrock of policies and programs, and the foundation is being laid today. And that's what the beauty of our country is today and the government. And we are lucky that we are in such a situation where there is complete instability across the world and uncertainty. So I can say that I have some asks with IIFT because, I'm glad that I got this opportunity and I invite, otherwise I have not got one. So I can tell you about IIFT that I'd hope, apart from the theory, I need some practical inputs on especially our FTAs, what the impact has been, and where it needs to go, where the problems are, where the hiccups are, and what other changes. It's an agile government. It listens. It wants to listen. It wants to see and hear your suggestions and even criticism, so that we can legislate and bring policies and change policies accordingly. So I would want, one, impact of our FTAs. Two, when we talk about ease of doing business, we want our young to go out and see the problems on the last mile where what our exporters are facing, so that we could streamline those with concrete, on the ground, practical suggestions. More of, faceless and less of, what do you call it, with people taking decisions. I don't want that to happen, where we would want to have a system which is a level playing field for even the smallest of the smallest players. The government is on its way to see that, like I said, promote our small and micro industries at the international level. We are going ahead with, in the export promotion, the new one that's coming about, to have from the Commerce Ministry a volunteer or a person, not a volunteer, a person in each and every district of this country, and they'll be from institutes like IIFT, who will be there on the ground trying to disseminate information, policies, opportunities, and as well as tell us what the problems that lie on the last mile. We are also talking to associations, not only the big ones of which we keep hearing, CII, ASSOCHAM, and FICCI, but there are 1,600 other business associations in the country. Those are being engaged to ensure, to see that we tap new exporters, we tap new export items, and we also see that, ensure that we see what the problems that lie in this export journey can be further streamlined. So these are the initiatives we are taking. Of course, for our young, the world is changing, everything is becoming green. Sustainability is a big thing across the world. Packaging, products, processes, everything has to align if you want that product to be visible across on that shelf in the international market. And above all, Prime Minister Modi, he keeps saying on this particular aspect, amongst the numerable things that he does outline for India, is that I have three things. And those three things are quality, quality, and quality. And that's where we have to ensure our products, our exporters should keep that in mind, that there can be no compromise in today's world on quality. And any substandard, low-quality product is going to dent not only their image, but the country's. And the government is willing to partner to help out in this quality improvement program. We are willing, from the government's point of view, to set up the best labs, the best certification processes. We talk about a lot of a lot of items get rejected, be it agriculture or other products, citing compliances and certifications. So we are happy. We don't want our substandard products to go abroad. We don't want to dump any reject mal outside. We are happy to give you the best, and they can have and send their teams to test in our labs, which are world class. We are happy to have our products tested across whichever part of the world they want, because there can be no compromise on quality. And even within India, those days are over where, when you used to go at certain markets here, I don't know, these young people won't know. There used to be that underground market. Palika Bazaar, and Gaffar market and all, they used to say this is export quality products and all. That means, the export was good, the best was going out, and the kachra was being dumped for within India. So those days are over. It's a new India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. The people have become very aspirational. They have the spending capacity, not only in the cities but in the rural areas. They don't want any dumped products on them. They don't want to tolerate any low quality products given to them. They want the best. They are willing to pay. And that's what makes India the best market in the world as well. And so, it's a confluence of all. And I think my asks have been pretty clear that I need a roadmap and a clear kind of, sense of what's push the government in areas where the government's push is required, where our problems lie. So I hope this two-day conference will have concrete suggestions which are visible and practical, and the government can adopt. And it will be a continuing process because it's very evolving. Yeah, and one more thing that comes to my mind where Professor had spoken about the shloks, and you had said in one of them that the different departments of the government are not working. Those days are over. At one point of time, they used to work in silos. But now it's a whole of government approach under Prime Minister Modi. There is no, different departments. And one such example I can give you, kind of the Commerce Ministry, every day in the morning, 10 o'clock, since this war has broken out and the Hormuz Strait is creating, all ministries, interministerial meetings happening every day, trying to figure out how we can help our exporters from shipping to transport to agriculture to, it's all over. So it's working with a new outlook, a new vision, a new process, and there's a whole of government approach. It's not only one department and then you have to run for a NOC to the next department. So those days are over. I'm very glad I've got this opportunity to speak to you. I hope, I repeat, I will get great feedback from these leading lights who are sitting here in front of me from across the country, and even you talked about some international participants who are here. So we get a whole view of how things are. And with those, my best wishes for this conference only, and also to the Institute to keep up that flag flying high, the quality, the faculty, the students, the placements, and the learning that happens here. Thank you.
We are grateful for the truly inspiring and insightful inaugural address, sir. Shri Prasada's words have illuminated the larger canvas within which this conference finds its purpose, the canvas of India's growing role in global commerce, the urgency of world-class management education, and the power of research to navigate the turbulence of our times. It is with great pride and joy that we announce the Global Business Research Conference 2026 stands officially inaugurated. This year's Global Business Research Conference features a compelling agenda. We have 28 Vice Chancellors and Directors from reputed institutions joining us for the day-long Directors' Conclave. For the technical sessions, we have received an overwhelming response to our call for papers, but unfortunately, we could not accommodate every submission due to limited capacity. We have now come to the end of the session. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, we express our heartfelt gratitude to our Chief Guest, Honorable Shri Jitin Prasada, Minister of State, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Information and Technology, for his gracious presence and his inspiring inaugural address. May I now request everyone present here to please rise for the national anthem to close this inaugural session.
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We finally close this session with our Vice Chancellor presenting a token of gratitude.
That's it.